Good tidings and welcome to This Just Evening In. I'm your host, Mike Garvin.
And I'm your more qualified host, Heather Hull. Let's dive into tonight's headlines. The 93rd Annual Academy Awards aired this weekend, and while we have nothing to report on the broadcast itself, we can report that actor Rami Malek looks like Harry Connick Jr. went on an acid trip and never came back, and then won an Oscar for that.
Actor Robert Pattinson will soon join actors like George Clooney and Ben Affleck in an exclusive club when he becomes the 7th person to portray Batman in a live-action movie. At club meetings, they mostly talk about chafing.
In world news, as tensions continue to erupt across the globe, many nations are increasing the size and presence of their militaries. The United States troop count is nearing 500,000, while the country of Monaco has recently increased to 82. While that sounds small, it's been confirmed that each soldier has 12 hands.
Leah Remini's court battle with the Church of Scientology continues, as the actor struggles to recoup financial contributions made to the church over several decades. This is a particularly complicated legal case, as many of Remini's donations were made in the form of leftover King of Queens DVDs and Season 4 promotional koozies. Scientology was founded in the 1950s by science fiction author L. Ron Hubbard, which in English translates to The Ron Hubbard, like The Ohio State University.
The SpaceX Crew Dragon Endeavour has successfully docked with the International Space Station after launching this week. Ironically, scientists know more about the surface of the moon than they do about the ocean floor. Both are dark and quiet, but one is definitely more of a dog person. And history has shown that space hates dogs.
Beginning in 1992, underclothing juggernaut Hanes popularized the slogan, "Wait till we get our hands on you," presumably a play on the expression, "get our hands on you." Choosing to pair that with products designed for intimate areas begs the question, how did our society so casually allow this campaign to run for so long unchecked? Or is this just further proof that any defense is useless against Michael Jordan?
At the request of governors across the country, the Justice Department has launched an investigation into whether there is, in fact, a Starbucks cup in every scene of the 1999 movie Fight Club. If confirmed, it's anticipated that not one of those cups spelled the actor's name right. An alternate take of this headline is that there's a Starbucks cup in every scene of Fight Club, but when Brad Pitt and Edward Norton both hold cups, there's still only one.
Changing gears, as I'm sure all of you watching at home know, this year marks the 30th anniversary of the end of Season 5 of the classic CBS sitcom Designing Women. The show ran for a total of 7 seasons. We'd like to extend a special thanks to our viewers who responded to our This Just Evening Insiders poll.
Yes, we asked you to name your favorite sugar baker client mentioned within the first 3 minutes of each episode, and here are your top 10 choices.
Number 1, Bruce Duncan.
Number 2, Primrose Horton.
Number 3, Sissy Tate.
Number 4, DeWitt Childs.
Number 5, Biddy Stonecipher.
Number 6, Burton Riffle.
Number 7, Rex Shackelford.
Number 8, Eldon Ashcroft IV.
Number 9, Hence Winchester.
And number 10, D.B. LeBoot.
As promised, to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the end of Season 5 of Designing Women, again, the show ran for a total of 7 seasons, we'll be performing each one of Julia Sugarbaker's most beloved rants. To start us off, Heather's got Julia's phone call to Adolf Hitler from Season's 2 fever dream of a World War II-inspired episode, I'll Be Seeing You.
Mr. Hitler, Julia Sugarbaker here, American citizen. I just wanted you to know, Mr. Hitler, no matter how many overgrown, stiff-armed, bully boys you surround yourself with, that aside from being evil incarnate, you will always be just a short little ill-tempered mongrel weakling who, for all his concerns about pedigree, can't even grow a good-looking mustache. And no matter how many rockets light the skies over Germany, you will never find your way through the haze of Winston Churchill's cigar smoke, and all the goose-stepping soldiers left on God's green earth can't step high enough to get you around Franklin Roosevelt's wheelchair. And I'll tell you why, Mr. Hitler, because we're America. And we've got John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart, and Betty Grable and Audie Murphy, and Eddie Rickenback, and Eddie Murphy, and Louis Armstrong, and Babe Ruth, and Dwight Eisenhower, and Jackie Robinson, and Bob Hope, and Ginger Rogers, and Roy Rogers, and Will Rogers, and yes, Mr. Hitler, We've even got Mr. Rogers.
Resident, stirring, now as ever.
Well, thank you. Now for Mike's take on Julia's take on the sexual politics of photography in 1989's Season 3 classic, The Women of Atlanta.
If you are looking for somebody to suck pearls, then I suggest you try finding yourself an oyster. Because I am not a woman who does that. As a matter of fact, I don't know any woman who does that because it's stupid. And it doesn't have any more to do with decorating than having cleavage and looking sexy has to do with working in a bank. These are not pictures about the women of Atlanta. These are just about the same old thing they're always about. And it doesn't matter whether the clothes are on or off. It's just the same old message. And I don't care how many pictures you've taken of movie stars. When you start snapping photos of serious, successful businessmen like Donald Trump and Lee Iacocca in unzipped jumpsuits, wet lips, straddling chairs, then we'll talk. And now on to the stock market. Let's go to Mr. Mischief at the financial desk. Mischief.
Well, he just proved what they always say. When the stock market closes, the brokers go home. When the Boston market closes, the brokers go crazy.
Indeed. And now to global affairs. Last month, the eyes of the entire world turned to Egypt and watched with bated breath as the 400-meter-long container ship, the Ever Given, got stuck in the Suez Canal.
On March 23rd, the Ever Given was caught in a sandstorm, removing the crew's ability to steer the ship and causing the hull to deviate, as hulls are known to do.
The ship then ran aground, and for 6 days it sat sideways across the channel, blocking over 400 ships from traveling through one of the world's most important pipelines for global trade. Rescue efforts went underway immediately, but it was an unlikely alliance of like-minded little boats that really saved the day.
That's right. Tugboats from Egypt, Italy, and the Netherlands worked day and night to clear sand and silt to push and tow the Ever Given to its inspection point in the Great Bitter Lake. We sent our international arts and leisure correspondents, the Dante's Peak Men's Chorus, on assignment to the Suez Canal to cover the story. Despite the incredible expense of flying 3 community singers on Business Select direct to Cairo, their reporting takes us on a dramatic, emotional journey, reminding us all, through the power of song, to keep it tug.
Suez Canal, we've got a block in the Suez Canal, Suez Canal, Suez Canal, we've got a block in the Suez Canal, Suez Canal, Suez Canal, we've got a block in the Suez Canal. The world economy flows through the stream. The world of goods and things depends on the ever-given evergreen. Tugboats, little tugboats, coming in to save the day. Tugboats, little tugboats, hold tight, help dissolve the wave. Tugboats, little tugboats, coming in to save the day.
I don't think I learned anything new from that, but I must say I'm more emotionally invested, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For this Just Evening In, I'm Heather Hall.
And I'm Mike Garvin. Have a good night, and don't forget,